What even was this game, though? Like, come on. What even was this game? This honestly was the living definition of a game of two halves. Uh, in the first half, I was thinking that my match review was going to be completely different, but I don't know. I felt like I saw enough of an attacking impetus for us to do something in the second half. And my God, did we come in strong in that second half. But we have to come back to reality, guys. And I'm sorry to burst the bubble a bit, but it's still disappointing that we didn't beat Ajax today, especially with the massive advantage of, them being down to 9 men. And don't worry, I'm most definitely going to be talking about that. But in a group where we have Valencia, who ended up beating Lille tonight, three teams now on 7 points. And, with how we perform in Europe, we have a mistake in us, as we evidently saw tonight. And even though we have the ability, even though we can get goals, can we be decisive in those crucial moments? I think that's something that is going to take this young team a lot of time and experience to really get better at. But for now, with the advantage we had in this game, I'm sorry, but we needed to get the 3 points tonight. It was crazy. At times, Ajax, for some baffling reason, were still able to consistently get corners. And I'm thinking, they're down to 9 men. We've got a 2-man advantage, and we're still giving away these really easy corners every single time. And, for a team that's really useless at defending set pieces, let's admit it, are really bad, we're terrible. We're terrible at set pieces. We give away corners and free kicks way too much. And honestly, I need to collect my thoughts a little bit, and I think this is a good time to give my introduction. How you guys, how you doing? I'm Nini FC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to the match review of our 4-4 draw against Ajax. Now in today's match review, I'm going to be speaking about why we were so poor in the first half. I'll be speaking about the one big mistake that I personally thought Frank Lampard made. I'm going to be speaking about the second half, Reece James and his phenomenal introduction into the game, and of course that line in midfield, Jorginho. And before I get into anything, you guys, today's video is brought to you by the OneFootball app. If you do download the OneFootball app right now, you'll be able to vote for your man of the match. And for me, I'm going to be voting for Reece. When he came on, he helped transform how the team played. He was really impressive tonight. And if you guys want to vote for your player, you can find the app in the description below. Absolute disgrace. And I mean, of course, when do we ever have referees that are doing their jobs properly and giving us the right calls and favours? In big games like this too, it never happens. So I expect there to be some, I can't swear, but I expect there to be some nonsense right at the end. How did they give 4 minutes? And the piss take was, they didn't even call it on 4 minutes on the dot. It was like 3 minutes and 56 seconds. I was a nerd, you guys, I admit it. I don't understand. I do not get it. As BT Sports said, the red cards alone was 3 minutes, and the penalties, the substitutions, I mean, it makes no sense. Now, people are going to blame VAR. But it always comes down to human decisions every single time. The referees need more experience and time understanding how to use the system. Maybe some error happened and they had to just blag it on the spot. I don't know. But, in a game like this, if we should have had at least an extra 4 minutes. It should have been at least 8 minutes of extra time. If we had 4 more minutes, we're getting that goal in the end. So in that sense, I do feel a bit robbed because, who knows what could have happened. But for you guys, I'm rambling on. Let's get back into the first half. Now, we can start with the first half. We see the lineup, and I think we all have this collective worry when we see Marcos Alonso and Azpilicueta as fullbacks. We saw Emerson play the last game. He's not even in the team. He's not part of the squad. And you're thinking, please do not tell me that this guy's picked up another knock. It's the last thing we need right now. His performance against Watford really highlighted to me his importance in the team. And, we really miss this guy because from what I saw from Marcos Alonso tonight, it's not good enough. And you guys personally know I'm not the type of guy that likes to, vilify players or, really be too scathing with my criticism. But with Marcos Alonso, it's getting really hard for me right now. Too often I just see these typical Alonso performances where he's in slow motion the entire game. Every time he controls the ball, it's like 2 seconds too slow. I don't understand where it comes from. I can understand why Lampard did that. He's thinking about set pieces, but I'm going to get into that, you guys. And the reason why I'm so critical of the fullbacks is because the fullbacks are very important in the system we play in. We could see that Ajax had a game plan tonight, and it worked really well. Ajax were constantly able to isolate Promise with Aspie, happened time and time again. They overloaded down the right hand side. Marcus Alonso was too slow to get back into position too many times. We've seen Promise make the same move time and time again. We saw it in the first game. I bet you anything that Lampard prepared the team to come up against that, but the execution from the players today was not there, and we could see that in the fullbacks. We need technical high ability players in the fullback position. It's too important, especially in the build-up phase. It's too important. We could see tonight, if you've got fullbacks that are constantly, giving away easy possession time and time again, who are constantly making errors by themselves, that's putting the team under pressure. There was that moment in the game where Marcus Alonso put in one of the stupidest crosses I think I've seen for a very long time. And Ajax got a free counter-attack, and I think Tomori had to make a foul, and he got a booking, and because of that terrible piece of play, you've now forced Tomori in a position where he's had to get the yellow card now. So it's really frustrating in that aspect. And I think after tonight, Frank Lampard, hopefully, I'm not going to say he needs to smell the coffee. There's reasons. I'm guessing the reasons are fitness. But I think he has no reason to not be starting Reece James from now on. Guys, bear with me a tiny bit. I'm going to be speaking about him very soon. Boy, did the opening 5 minutes really summarize how this game was going to be tonight? In the space of 3-4 minutes, 2 goals scored, a penalty, and a set piece. And, Tammy Abraham, I've been telling you guys, I feel like his defending at the post isn't as good as it should be right now. I'll give him a lot of credit tonight, though, because after that mistake when he scored the own goal, he really focused a lot more, and he won everything from that moment on. But, continuing on, it's an area in which I feel to really do something to stop being so weak in set pieces. I'm guessing you have to turn to the transfer market or wait for guys like Reece to fully become first team members in the team. But regardless though, Ajax had a game plan. Their game plan was to play on the counter-attack. They played with a lot more physicality. That's why they swapped Dest for Mazzari. I think that's how you say his name, at right back. They wanted to be able to compete in the press, and at times our pressing was really impressive for quite a lot of the game, to be fair. But Ajax were able to find ways in behind our fullbacks time and time again. But even though they looked threatening from those areas, they weren't consistently, creating opportunities from them. Most of that came from set pieces, and, one piece of play from Ziyech, an incredible cross, world-class cross. We know that Ziyech's capable of moments like this time and time again, and Promise with that same move he was doing time and time and time and time and time again. I think that's when Lampard realised, I need to play Reece now. And even though we know that we lost the first half 3-1, I want to focus now on the second half where, completely different game, completely different intensity, energy. And I think the reason for that was the substitution that Lampard made. And that was bringing Reece James into the team. Now I'm going to tell you guys this straight immediately. Did you ever see Reece giving away a foul? Now compare that to what you saw from Alonso and Azpilicueta, who time and time and time again were constantly giving away easy fouls, free kicks, corners. It was really poor from a defensive point of view for me personally. Reece came on immediately. The quality exponentially, and I really mean it, exponentially improved. His ability to play out from the back, he's always thinking a step ahead every single time. How many first time passes is he making? When do you see Aspie do that? Let's play a first time pass back to his defense. Wait to draw the man towards you before releasing the ball back to your defender. You don't even see Aspie or Alonso consistently doing that basic thing. But Reece has that in abundance, and he looked confident. He looked ready. And, tonight, this was a massive opportunity for Reece to really make a name for himself and, really tell Lampard, listen, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. It's time for me now to play in the first team and really show you what I can do. The way he took his goal, his technique as a football player is really impressive. It really is. That goal he scored. And you're thinking, how many players in that team would have scored a goal like that with that type of technique in that type of area? But Reece can, and we saw glimpses of his really dangerous crossing in the books. And you're thinking, if this guy played 90 minutes, are we losing 3-1 in the first half? And, are we winning this game? I think so. From now on, I need to see Reece James in this team. We've all known that he's been good enough since day. Lampard, you know this yourself too. It's time to start playing the kids. One player that deserves enormous respect tonight is Jorginho, a lion, a leader, leading by example. The way he takes his penalties. And I remember when he missed against Man City in the cup final, people instantly started vilifying him and, really criticizing his technique as if it's not one of the most impressive penalty shooting techniques out there in football right now. He rarely ever misses. And tonight we saw that in abundance. And, Onana in goal tonight, this guy, I don't know what it is about us, how we're able to make teams' goalkeepers just play to another level. I mean, I'm not being disrespectful to Onana, of course not. But tonight, he was extremely impressive. His passing out from the back, he looked better than Kepa. He looked better than Kepa. Kepa, of course, he's still young. I feel like in a season or two's time, we'll look back at these days and we'll be like, these were the growing pain phases. He can produce top quality moments, but that consistency, I don't know. From what I saw from Onana tonight, he impressed me a lot, you guys. But, getting back to things, Jorginho to score past him tonight, I mean, incredible. The amount of interceptions he won, starting moves every single time, playing the forward pass non-stop. He played to win the game tonight and he really helped lead the team by example. And I was really impressed by him. Unfortunately, a player I was not impressed by today was two players, to be honest. Tammy Abraham. Now, he was impressive in the manner in which he recovered from that early mistake at the start of the game. His set-piece defending was really good. But his finishing tonight, and I'm just thinking, there were moments tonight where Tammy, he should have been a bit more clinical, especially with his heading. I feel like his heading needs to be a bit stronger. And I think that comes down to age, His upper body strength isn't there just yet, but when he develops more, by the time he's 23, 24, because remember, when we're using youth, we're using them for the long game. That's always the goal. By the time he's matured a lot, I feel like he will get that upper body strength and he'll be a much stronger player for it. But tonight, he wasn't looking too good for me. I would have taken off Tammy and brought on Mitchie. I didn't understand why he took off Cover. I felt like it was putting too much stress on Pulisic. He was visibly getting tired, and it's like, he's playing as a number 10, playing in the central areas. He has to come back and constantly run back, all these sprints to help defend as well. I mean, he can't constantly do that. Felt there was no need to take off Cover. We lost control, surprisingly, against 9 men. Maybe Lampard, he was too bold with that decision. He was forcing it too much. We had to keep our patience. We had no central options. And that was why it was quite easy for Ajax to defend against us as the game was going to the end. If he had taken off Tammy, brought on Mitchie and left Cover on the field, I feel like we would have consistently really forced possession in Ajax's half. And I feel like with Mitchie and, how he's instantly ready to impact the game, he would have got a goal if he had maybe, 20 more minutes, 15 more minutes of football. And Mason Mount as well. Hopefully his injury isn't too severe because, he's important for the team tactically. Defensively, very good. But on the ball tonight, it wasn't too great. Some of his passes between the lines weren't good enough. And, I kind of understand why it's a bit more difficult with Marcos Alonso down the left-hand side. That doesn't really do anything. He really slows down the play and doesn't really become that passing option to help, create the space for players to run into. So that's its own thing, you guys. But regardless, though, still a very admirable performance. The spirit was with the team tonight. I've said for a very long time that these players understand what it means to play for the team. I know that as fans, we can dismiss the tournaments they won at youth level because it's youth level, but at the same time, to consistently do that, to consistently play in high pressure games non-stop every single time, that's only going to strengthen and toughen your mentality. And tonight, the young guns, they showed up tonight. Expect to hear all my thoughts and opinions in the player ratings video tomorrow and the talking points video. But you guys, on that note, I'm gonna wrap things up and keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. I'm EFC. This is Blue Line CV. Signing out.